What's going on, everybody? C4, welcome back to more C4, where after every Philadelphia Eagles game, we are throwing up some live reactions, some player grades, and today we're talking about the Eagles moving to 3-0, defeating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 25-11. And while it was a dominating performance for the Philadelphia Eagles, is it time that we could start to be a little worried about the Eagles' passing offense? I think so. Like, it's 3 games. You would like to see some form of improvement. And I guess the only thing really I noticed was after the very public flare-up between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts on the sideline last week, they force-fed him, which is good. You got A.J. Brown involved. Not a whole lot on the bone there for Devontae Smith. The brain was not helping for sure. It was both ways. Like, Mike Evans had 2 or 3 drops that he almost always brings in. So it was tough conditions to really throw the football in the second half when the rain started coming down, and you can see why. Philadelphia ran it for 201 yards, another dominating performance from the Philadelphia Eagles. But when you look at the upper echelon teams in the NFL right now, you got the Niners. You can beat the Niners, and I think Philly would beat the Niners playing this type of football. We'll just run it. Philly is absolutely going to dominate the line of scrimmage against the 49ers. And I think that works out well for us. But you look at the other side, more so, I still think Philadelphia firmly the best team in the NFC. But you look at the AFC, a hot Buffalo Bills team. How would that match up against the Philadelphia Eagles? Right now, we're winning with really good defense. Defensive line play ridiculous. Just give Jalen Carter the Defensive Rookie of the Year award. You look at the Miami Dolphins, man. Last year, I believe, the Eagles and Dolphins had training camp practice together, and all the beat reporters are like, man, the straight up speed of the Dolphins has been a problem for the Eagles all day during those practices. They're the one team going into last year. I was like, man, I kind of hope we don't see the Dolphins. And obviously Tua and all that stuff kind of went shambolic. But I think the Dolphins are a bad matchup for the Philadelphia Eagles. And if that happens, that'd be an awesome game. I think that would be absolutely an awesome game. But is Jalen Hurts in this passing offense playing good enough that we'd feel comfortable that we can get in a shootout with those teams? Because the defense isn't always going to show up. We've seen Mac Jones put up pretty big numbers. We've seen Kirk Cousins put up pretty good passing numbers. You got to assume, we play the Bills, we play the Dolphins. You love our chances at controlling the line of scrimmage. But I think a team, especially like Miami, they're going to throw the ball within 2 seconds to Waddle, to Mostert, to A-Chain, to Tyreek Hill, obviously. They're just going to, I think they're a terrible matchup. But if we can bring our defense and we can get the passing offense going and we say, yeah, you know what? You can dink and dunk it. You can do these checkdowns, quick throws to these speedsters. Jalen Hurts, we got A.J. freaking Brown, we got Devontae Smith, we got Dallas Goedert, we got DeAndre Swift in the receiving game. Haven't seen that yet. So there is a confidence being 3-0, and the offense has not remotely played up to its potential. There is a confidence that while the offense hasn't looked amazing, like last week against the Vikings, they just dared us to run the football, right? Jalen Hurts is not going to be able to get 4 or 5 touchdowns when you have these teams that are dropping 8. This game against Tampa, I think a little less of that. I think there was definitely some missed opportunities in the passing game. But still, generally, they were, you looked at a lot of those DeAndre Swift long runs. The DBs for Tampa Bay were still running in pass coverage. The Bucs, and so far, teams have game planned for Jalen Hurts not to throw the football and utilize A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith a whole lot. That's why we've been able to run the football the way we run the football, because all these teams are just not letting Jalen Hurts hit the shot plays. But you're also at a point where Jalen Hurts got paid. Jalen Hurts is very expensive. A.J. Brown is very expensive. Devontae Smith is very good. Dallas Goedert, pretty damn expensive. This is an expensive offense that Howie Roseman has built. He wants to see these guys use. He bought that expensive car, and we're going out on the highway, and we're obeying speed laws. And hey, if you're watching this, always drive the speed limit, especially in school zones. Father too. But you got that Hellcat Charger, you got that Ferrari Lamborghini Countach. You want to let her go. You want to let her rip. You paid money to let her rip. And we're not really getting our money's worth right now out of our passing offense. I think that's my summary right now. Is it okay to panic? Is it the time that we could start to panic? Is it time that we could start to worry? I think we're getting close because it's been 3 weeks with new offensive coordinator Brian Johnson. You'd like to see maybe a little bit more chemistry. It does seem like, especially, I'm not going to be one of those people that go like, well, he threw 2 picks, but those 2 picks weren't on him, so it's not really like he threw 2 picks. First pick was a mishap. Miscommunication. I believe it was DeAndre Swift. Kind of looked like he was in no man's land. Second interception was, I actually think, like just a ridiculous interception by the Bucs. D. Delaney, I think, kind of came out of nowhere, jumped in front of Devontae Smith, and got 2 feet in. I would chuck that one up as like that was a hell of a play by Tampa Bay, but still 2 turnovers for Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts did not turn the football over last year at all, and he's turned the football over a decent amount so far this season through 3 games. So I definitely think we're trending in the direction that it's valid to worry. And it's not you just being a greedy Eagle fan. It's not just, Jalen Hurts taking this priority of like, just win. Winning's the only thing that matters. Well, at a certain point, you're not playing Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. You're not playing Kirk Cousins and the win this Vikings. You're going to have to go up against these Dolphins in, a couple weeks, week 9. You're going to have to eventually pay the piper against the Niners, even though I think they kick the shit out of them. We're going to need to start playing better football, more complimentary football. We're not just going to be able to rely on 200 yards rushing every single week. But it's the yin yang, it's the cause and effect. Are we getting these 200-yard performances? Yes, obviously, DeAndre Swift has been popping off. Our offensive line is ridiculous. But I do think something that the casual media, and I'm definitely not saying that I'm anything too much above casual in terms of takes, but I think there's a lot of people just looking at Jalen Hurts like, well, those aren't good passing numbers. When the reality is, like, we are getting these 200 yards also for a reason, for how these teams are playing us. And it'd be, like, stupid for Jalen Hurts to be like that. We finished this game with, like, a 9-minute drive of just killing the game off. Just killing the game off, getting out of this week healthy. Right? If this was a closer, like, it's like one of those, it's just, it's the ultimate casual take. Because you're going to look at someone like Kirk Cousins, see all those big numbers. Yeah, they're 0-3. And Kirk Cousins is throwing it, like, late into the 4th, trying to get back into games. Like, Jalen Hurts, he's not going to ever have 350 yards passing because more often than not, Philly's having 9-minute running drives to kill a game off. But I still am slightly concerned about what's going on. It seems like the offense is struggling to get into a rhythm, which is a reflection of the offensive coordinator and the quarterback not being on the same page. Hopefully that gets rectified. We got a tough game against the Commanders coming up. For a grade, I'll give Jalen Hurts today B-. I'll give him a B-. I think his touchdown was his best throw all season. Great touchdown to Zacchaeus. I think the second interception, even though it was a great play by the Bucs, a little bit of a noodle arm throw. They had a little bit more zip, a chance that is a touchdown to Devontae Smith. Interception 1 was a confusion. Again, that's still going to come up back to the quarterback. Maybe makes a better read. Maybe understands that Swift kind of fucked that play up and you kill it a little bit. So ultimately, not a great game for Jalen Hurts. There was reports he had flu-like symptoms and all these excuses are coming up, man. Hey, the wins are masking Jalen Hurts right now. If Philly's not 3-0, we are a lot louder about our quarterback's performance. Run game, A+, just ridiculous, at will. And Tampa Bay has the best nose tackle in football. That is a very good defense. There is a reason why the Bucs were 2-0. I'm sorry, it's not Baker Mayfield, even though that's kind of a cool comeback story. It's not necessarily Mike Evans, who's one of my favorite players in the NFL. It's been the Bucs defense, and we just bully them. Absolutely bully them. They were on the field forever. DeAndre Swift, 16 carries, 130 yards. Pretty much got pulled. I don't think DeAndre Swift had more than 2 or 3 carries in the second half, which is smart. I mean, there's going to be people, the fantasy football people, that are pissed off about that. But DeAndre Swift, a player that has struggled to stay healthy, you definitely want to load management him a little bit. I will say, though, and I like Kenny Gainwell, especially down the stretch last year in the playoffs, but I think let's give Rashad Penny some touches here. I personally would say let's shave off some of these Hurts runs. Let's get Kenny 10 touches. Let's get, like, Penny 7, 8. And then you have Swift get 15, 20 in that range. I think Rashad Penny offers something a little bit more different. There's a lot of inside runs to Kenny Gainwell. Kenny Gainwell primarily, I don't want to say he's receiving back, but he's more of a receiving back than he is a power back. And I think we could definitely utilize that different type of Rashad Penny, especially now with Boston Scott being out with a concussion. So that I would like to see that just a little bit more, but generally speaking, A+ run game was phenomenal. DeAndre Swift, how do we get him for a bunch of third round? Day 3 was a 4th and a 6th, and we got a pick in Swift or something like that with the Lions. ridiculous value. Howie Roseman stays winning. A.J. Brown, absolutely 9 catches, 131 yards. Zacchaeus, 58 yards, had the touchdown, 41 yards for Dallas Goedert, and 5 catches, 4 catches for Devontae. In a perfect world, we get everyone firing on all cylinders and everyone eats. Hasn't really been the case yet. Passing offense has struggled. We've yet to see A.J. Brown, Devontae, Dallas Goedert all have 3 strong games. I'd like to say that it's coming, right? But you love seeing A.J. Brown get up and get on the, I don't know. I wasn't worried, but it was a story with A.J. Brown arguing on the sideline, and it's good to see him get going there. I think the receivers were, the weather did play a part. A.J. Brown, I think, had 2 drops. Again, Mike Evans had 2 or 3 drops. But, very strong. I think, generally speaking, especially given the conditions, I give the wide receivers an A here today. Special teams did the job, man. Britton Covey, how about it? I've never been anti-Britton Covey. I was in favor of Devin Allen having an Olympian back there, and he actually was today. We called him up to be our kick returner. But I've never been anti-Britton Covey, and there was a lot of that on Eagles social media, Eagles Twitter. I don't know why. I think he's a solid punt returner, did some magical things in Utah. And I'm good. That's good for him. I always like having a return specialist. I know some teams just throw third wide receiver, whatever. I love having one guy who every time he has a chance to get out there on punt or kick return, that's his play. That is his job. And he kind of goes for. I don't know. I kind of get that sense with Covey. That's why he's returning a lot of these kicks. He's like, this is the only thing I get to do. I'm going to take it and try to take it to the house every time. I like that. So special teams were outstanding. A+ today. And on the defense, my God, Jalen Carter is awesome. Only got credit with a half sack, had a forced fumble as well, but he's the best defensive player I've seen. Will Anderson had a couple big plays. There's probably a couple others that I might just be brain farting on right now, and it is obviously Eagles bias, but Jalen Carter is ridiculous. He very likely is going to be the best player from the 2023 rookie class when he was billed as it. Yes, had the off the field. Yes, did not have the best pro day. But my God, he is playing through 3 weeks like he was the number 1 overall player in this draft. He played outstanding. Sidney Brown made a couple plays, had a great pass breakup on Mike Evans that broke up a touchdown. I think he got hurt, which sucks because obviously I want to see more of the Canadian. Everyone wants to see more Sidney Brown. And that was an outrageous, really his first game. You pretty much save a touchdown against Mike Evans, one of the best to ever do it. Great moment for him. Marlon Tuipulotu had a sack. Nicholas Morrow shot the gap on a blitz and got a safety, which was nice. BG had a solid game. Jordan Davis and Reed Blankenship. I made a keys that I wanted to see, things I wanted to see, and I had Reed Blankenship interception in the tweet to keep the receipt, and he got himself an interception. Awesome to have him back. Pretty good. Josh Jobe held his own, I think, for the most part. Anytime you're going, just dominance, right? We kept the football. Didn't have a whole lot of opportunities for Tampa to make a lot of plays, but I think, the backups guys that had to kind of come in and start and pinch start a little bit, they did a serviceable job. But game ball on either side, man, for me, Jordan Davis. I think Jordan Davis was the singular best player on the football field tonight. That safety pretty much comes on him. All these sacks are at some point, it's just Jordan Davis eating a double team and pushing 2 to 3 players, including a running back, into the quarterback's lap. Jordan Davis was simply ridiculous. He's gonna be I'm gonna be shocked if he doesn't have a 92 PFF grade or something like that. The nerds are gonna love what Jordan Davis did. He is absolutely getting my game ball on the defensive side of the ball, and offensively, I think I was more impressed with Swift than I was AJ Brown. I think we go back to back DeAndre Swift game balls. But I want to hear you guys think about this one because I think the question is: yes, we won. Did we, the Bucs were undefeated and it was a road game, but I think looking at the rosters, looking at where we're at, this was a must win. That's how we phrase them on the channel. Nothing's an easy win. This was a must win for the Philadelphia Eagles. But what do you guys think? Is it time to start being a little bit worried about the passing offense? Or are we being too greedy? Or, are our teams just forcing us to run the football and it's tough for Jalen to take his shots and maybe these interceptions are because we're trying to bait into what these teams want us to do. In reality, we probably should have ran it for 50 times. If we ran it for 50 times, the result would probably be the same, and Jalen Hurts might not have those interceptions, right? So, I don't know. Love to hear what you guys think on the matter there. That will do it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully, we got Jamar Chase touchdown or 2 while I've been recording here. And I'll see you guys back here next week, next Sunday. Philly Commanders. Hopefully, we get to 4-0. So, that being said, like, subscribe, first time stopping by, all that cheesy stuff. And I will see you on the next one. Peace. I love you. Have a good one.